In today's video, we're going to be comparing the Ford Transit Altitude Kit to the Ford Transit Trail Hero Kit. These both are going to lift your van 2 inches, but in today's video, we're going to show you the big differences between them and how much more articulation one van is going to have. This all-wheel drive Ford Transit behind me has the 2-inch altitude lift kit on it by WeldTec Designs. It is going to consist of a 2-inch spacer on top of the strut, as well as a new lower control arm. That lower control arm is going to have camber and caster adjustability, which is a huge plus in the Ford Transit platform. In the rear, it's just a 2-inch block, and of course we love our 2.0 Fox shocks in the rear. What we really want to know is how does that compare to the new WeldTec Designs 2-inch Trail Hero Kit. This all-wheel drive Ford Transit has a 2-inch WeldTec Designs Trail Hero Kit on it. This has the all-new 2.5 King shock or strut in the front end. All the lift is going to be built into that strut. What it's also going to have is the Gen 3 lower control arm. It's going to have the camber adjuster, but it also has the built-in caster adjuster. We took it one step further and also added the Ford Transit lower control arm support to really tie in all of those features of that lower control arm, just making it so much stronger. That is key. Now in the rear, we went to our fully progressive leaf springs, which are going to be built out to the weight of your van as well as to the lift of your van. Now, we did one big thing even more. We love those 2.5 shocks, so we added a 2.5 King remote reservoir shock to the rear, as well as high clearance mounts and supports to just give this thing just everything that you could want in a Ford Transit suspension. All right, so what we really want to do is compare the Ford Transit Altitude Lift Kit to the Ford Transit Trail Hero Lift Kit. We want to show you the difference in articulation that these two kits are going to have and how that's going to benefit you on the trail. All right, so what we've done is we've lifted up the front wheel of this Ford Transit until the back wheel is just about to come off the ground. Now we're gonna take a couple other measurements, like right here, and we've come up about 11.5 inches before that rear tire is about to come off of the ground. We've compressed this front suspension 2.5 inches in order to lift this up 11 before that rear comes off the ground. Let's take a look and some measurements in the rear, what we have back there. If you guys are enjoying this type of content on Ford Transit suspension or just van or RV suspension in general, make sure that you click that subscribe button, and if you're enjoying this video, give it a big thumbs up. Otherwise, we're gonna keep talking about this killer Ford Transit suspension. All right, so now in the rear of this, we're also gonna wanna take some measurements. Now you can see that this is about to come off the ground, and I don't know that this is still enough traction that if you were in dirt, if you would really be getting traction or this wheel would be spinning. This suspension from normal ride height has dropped out 4.25 inches. Now why that's important is when you're traveling down washboard roads, and they have those bumps and dips, we want the suspension to be going into the hole versus the whole van taking the abuse of those harsh conditions or even maybe just those really rough roads that you drive on every day. This side here compressed 3.25 inches. Now, however, I still want to let you know one other variable in this, and that's going to be shock length. On this side, we still have 4 more inches of shock compression in order to get this. So technically, this could go up 4 more inches if the spring would allow it. So over here on the passenger side, where the wheel is suspending itself down or getting at full droop, we're getting about 2¼ inches of droop from ride height. So this is all really great information if you have a 2-inch kit on your vehicle. So now that we have all of this information, we're gonna go over to the Trail Hero kit and take the same measurements. So we're coming at 14 inches off of the ground to the inside edge of the tire. All right, so we still have about 2 inches actually of shock up travel or compression still on these front 2.5 King coilover shocks. We compressed this shock only 1.5 inches. Holy smokes. 14 inches that we've actually come off the ground, which is pretty impressive for a Ford Transit. Now, what's more impressive is the rear suspension setup on this as well. From ride height all the way drooped out, we're getting 6 inches of droop on this as well. Now, keep in mind, this spring is built out for a build out ranging between 1,500 and 1,900 pounds. Pretty darn impressive. We're not done. Let's check out the other side. 2.5 inches of shock to be able to compress, so this still can go quite a bit higher. Let's look at the numbers, and the numbers say that we are about 6 3/8 of an inch all the way compressed. So between both sides, we're getting about 13 inches of articulation between the back 2 wheels versus 8 inches on a stock spring setup. So we're getting about 5 more inches, which is, man, 50% more articulation out of a spring versus your stock spring. We're not done. One more measurement up front. One thing is, by having this spring rate on this 2.5 coilover, we are getting less articulation or movement out of it. It definitely takes a little bit more, and we are 3.5 inches different from one side to the other as far as articulation goes on the front suspension. Now, depending on your budget, what's great about using WeldTec Designs is you can start off small and keep adding to your Ford Transit as you build it out to make it an amazing overlanding vehicle. And that's our goal here at WeldTec Designs, is to really provide you the essentials for what you're working with at that time. So I'm going to make sure we put links down below as far as all the products that we've talked about in this video. And I hope to see you again here, because you're going to smash that subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, and come hang out with me, Jeremy, at WeldTec Designs again. But that's all I got. I'll see you guys in the next video.